Thank you. Hi, everyone. So, make a start. In 1956, the Williams family has engaged Peter and Dione McIntyre to design a courtyard house for them after they returned from a Mediterranean holiday. The house is in Studley Park, Kew, and was finished in 1959. And I bought the house from them 49 years later, in 2008. This is the view that captivated me. Not the furniture, please. It's like a living room in a treehouse, basically. The house was pretty run down when we moved in. I've stood on this original brown built countless times, contemplating what I could have done with it. Living in the house for 12 years has allowed me to slowly digest what really needed to be done and what were the priorities. The backyard was so steep, my kids, I never allowed them to go to the back because they would just fall right through the bump. And in turn, they play in the courtyard, which was what they designed it for. But because it was all paved, it didn't have that sense of connection to the nature. While the house focuses inwards to the courtyard, it was completely disconnected from the backyard visually. For as long as we were there, I never felt that I actually owned the backyard when I paid for the entire piece of land. Floor plan quickly, north is to the left, and the green shaded bits are my extension. Coming up the driveway is a sliver of a floor, if you call it a floor, entry into this space, and coming up the stairs. Once you're up the stairs, it's in the living room of that photo that you've seen before, the elm tree out at the front. We call it a donut house. You go round and round. Every part of the floor plan is circulation. And then you've got the kitchen, dining area, and the new staircase to upstairs that I've added. Laundry, guest bedroom, walk-in wardrobe, master bedroom, ensuite, and upstairs are the two kids' bedroom plus the rumpus or playroom. The footprint of the existing house was quite modest, typical of post-war kind of houses of that era. Rooms are small, corridors are narrow. Therefore, I was kind of guided by these finite dimensions which govern the whole design. I was so pedantic that to follow the structural set out, I limited myself right there to follow the existing eaves line. The site is rather steep. From back to front, it's 10 meters in elevation. Because it was so steep during construction, everything had to be craned in. From the street over the old house. We crane in bobcats, and everything you name is crane. This was the result of the terracing and the swimming pool formwork. And the view now from the pool to the new floor. Going back to the front again, we are quite fortunate because we bought the house from the Williams who commissioned Peter and Dione. They passed on an incredible amount of documentation to us, including this photo when the house was completed. Someone unfortunately decided to paint that house entirely in the dirty green, like everything, like every element. So I did a quick Photoshop, color corrections, just a press of a button, and now you kind of present back to the street a proper modernist heritage. We use a solder blasting technique to slowly strip back the paint to reveal the original brickworks. It kind of protect and avoid damaging the original bricks and the mortar. This part of the project is largely about restoration. At the same time, it's about upgrading the building envelope to a modern standard. We have lived there for 12 years without absolutely zero insulation, nothing. So we removed the entire roof, replaced with 100mm insulated panels. The underside of the cantilever slab, it used to be a heat sink. Imagine a concrete slab with no insulation, it's just nothing. So we sprayed with a 60mm thermal spray. All the walls internally were removed and put in insulation in within. This is not about compliance, it's about me understanding I actually need that, and double glaze everything. The courtyard has really shaped our family life. It's central focal point of the house, and my kids practically grew up within it. It is also the lung of the house. When all the doors and windows are open, this fantastic cross ventilation, like, you can just feel the wind kind of pass through. We've turned this previously fully paved ground into more of a properly landscaped garden now. And after 18 months, it's thriving and turning into a rather obsessive gardener. I'm really just cutting every weekend. Almost every, I think I mentioned before, every room in the house is part of the circulation. So it's almost like there's no privacy. Like the kids can come in with my master and just go round and round and round. And we use this dining table more than anything in the house. It's here that we finally be able to open up to the backyard and make that visual connection that was previously, missing from the original design. I've kept the old timber rafters and beams as a memory and a reminder of the original roof line. The staircase is hung from the roof with a central brick core, and is designed to be delicate and transparent. The upstairs is cladded entirely in ply to differentiate from the floor below. It's connected to the central courtyard garden, just like the rest of the house. And when you look up, this is the view across to our neighbor's treetops. During the design stage, I became fixated to the idea of this upstairs volume has to be both visually and physically connected to both directions. Effectively turned that upstairs into more like a shelter outdoor space, if you like. That's when the idea of a drawbridge was born. So the first step, I found an engineer, not the project engineer, because he refused to do me a drawbridge. It was so hard to design this mechanism with me. And all of a sudden I have to start learning about gear ratios and parts and sprocket and all this crap. And then second step, we found this myth of a man who is pretty much a legend in modifying cars. So for at least 3 months, my office can tell you, I spent countless mornings in the workshop in Heidelberg, drinking espresso with him, trying to figure this out. And yeah, I was missing in the office for 3 months. While on site, by this time, we actually have already moved back and living in the house. The boys from the builder, they were actually not getting paid for this. It becomes more of a love job for them. They want this to work as much as I did.
That's 8 minutes if you could wrap up.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Install day, the myth himself, it didn't work the first go. We have to upgrade 3 more times to make it work. It took us 11 months to do this. I'm not the first one who did it. We have seen it before, but I won't be the last one as well. Did you say 8 minutes?
Yeah, that's
damn.
time.
Yeah, here you go.
If you just want to flip
yeah,
through maybe and then
yep. And under the bridge, let the lights through. When the bridge is closed, we actually lock the bridge. We don't use it every day so that the kids can't operate it. On our street, there are many modernist houses, and what we are all trying to do is to protect this great period of residential architecture. All the neighbor has this sense of presenting that back to the public domain, and we've done our part.
Right.